Released on October 25, 1991, Curly Sue is a comedy drama about a homeless con man named Bill Dancer and the curly-haired little orphan he's raised on the road, who scam their way into the life of a wealthy Chicago divorce lawyer and accidentally become a family. It was the last film John Hughes ever directed. The little girl at the center of it vanished from Hollywood, then reappeared 25 years later to win one of the biggest singing competitions on television. A silent waiter with 0 lines went on to become one of the most beloved comedy stars of his generation, and one cast member left acting to become a United States Senator, and then ran for president. So where did they all end up? Jim Belushi plays Bill Dancer, the fast-talking drifter who cons strangers out of dinner money with staged accidents, and who has quietly built his entire life around protecting a little girl who isn't his. Belushi got top billing, and the film sat squarely in the middle of his hottest stretch as a leading man. Jim Belushi was born James Adam Belushi on June 15, 1954, in Chicago, Illinois, to Albanian immigrant parents. His father, Adam, ran a restaurant, and grew up in suburban Wheaton, the younger brother of comedy legend John Belushi. He joined Chicago's Second City improv troupe in 1977, and in March 1982, while Jim was still climbing, John died of a drug overdose at 33, a loss that shadowed and shaped the rest of Jim's career. He joined Saturday Night Live from 1983 to 1985, broke through in About Last Night in 1986, a role he had originated on stage in Chicago, and ran off a string of hits including Red Heat, K9, and Taking Care of Business. He has been married 3 times and has 3 children, including actor Robert Belushi. After Curly Sue, Jim Belushi kept working at a pace few actors match, but his biggest success came on television. According to Jim, ran for 8 seasons and 182 episodes on ABC from 2001 to 2009. In 2015, he started growing cannabis on a 93-acre farm along the Rogue River in Oregon, a venture he has framed around his brother's death, arguing that the plant might have saved John's life, and turned it into the brand Belushi's Farm and the Discovery series Growing Belushi. David Lynch cast him as gangster Bradley Mitchum in 2017's Twin Peaks: The Return, one of the revival's most beloved turns, and in 2025, he delivered 2 of the best-reviewed performances of his career, as counterculture icon Ken Kesey in Kristen Stewart's directorial debut, The Chronology of Water, which premiered at Cannes, and as a tribute band manager alongside Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson in Song Sung Blue. In March 2026, he came full circle with his old police dog comedy, K9, hosting a new A&E series called K9 PD with Jim Belushi. He is 72 years old as of July 2026. Kelly Lynch plays Gray Ellison, the polished, successful divorce lawyer whose orderly life is dismantled by 2 con artists she can't bring herself to throw out. Lynch took the role fresh off the hottest 2-year run of her career, and she later revealed that the film's sweet tone hit a far messier production. Kelly Lynch was born on January 31st, 1959, in Golden Valley, Minnesota, the daughter of a restaurateur and a modern dancer. At 20, she nearly died in a head-on car collision that sent her through the windshield and crushed both of her legs. Doctors wanted to amputate, her mother refused to let them, and Lynch spent roughly a year in the hospital learning to walk again. She worked as a flight attendant, modeled for Elite, studied under Sanford Meisner, and then had the year of her life in 1989, playing Doc opposite Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse, and earning an Independent Spirit Award nomination for Gus Van Sant's Drugstore Cowboy. She famously turned down Sharon Stone's role in Basic Instinct. In 1992, she married screenwriter Mitch Glazer, and she has a daughter, Shane, from a previous relationship. Lynch has been candid about what Curly Sue was actually like to make. She said Hughes and Belushi didn't get along, and that she felt like a mom dealing with 2 12-year-old boys as a planned quick shoot stretched to 5 months. After Curly Sue, she built one of the steadier careers in the cast, The L Word from 2004 to 2009, the Starz drama Magic City created by her husband, and a dark leading turn in David E. Kelley's Stephen King adaptation, Mr. Mercedes, in 2017. 2025, she reunited with her drugstore cowboy director Gus Van Sant for the acclaimed hostage drama Dead Man's Wire. She is 67 years old as of July 2026. If you're enjoying this look back at the Curly Sue cast, hit that like button and subscribe. We release new Where Are They Now? Videos every week. Alisan Porter plays Curly Sue, the sharp, scrappy, mop-haired orphan who can hustle a card game, take a fall for a free meal, and melt a divorce lawyer's heart all before dinner. She was 9 years old, and John Hughes rewrote the part around her after she was cast. The singing was only added once he heard what she could do. It's the detail that makes everything that happened next feel almost scripted. Alisan Porter was born on June 20th, 1981, in Worcester, Massachusetts, into a family built on performance. Her father fronted a popular local local band, and her grandmother ran a dance studio. At 5, a producer overheard her singing in a hotel lobby and put her on Star Search, where she became a junior vocal champion. Small roles followed in I Love You to Death and Parenthood, where her most memorable scene involved throwing up on Steve Martin, before Hughes cast her as Curly Sue. She has said the famous "Hubba Hubba" line was her own improv, and that the scene where Sue smacks Belushi in the face with a 2x4 took endless takes because she was too afraid of hurting him, until Belushi finally told her to just hit him. After Curly Sue, Alisan Porter walked away. She has said acting simply stopped being fun, and she wanted to be a normal kid, but the story got darker before it got better. She has spoken openly about a roughly 10-year battle with drugs and alcohol that began in her teens, driven, she has said, by the loss of fame and the adoration that came with it. She got sober in her mid-20s and has remained sober since. She performed on Broadway in Footloose and the celebrated 2006 revival of A Chorus Line, and then, in 2016, came the moment that turned her back into a household name. Her blind audition of Blue Bayou on season 10 of The Voice turned all 4 chairs, and she went on to win the entire season with coach Christina Aguilera, the first victory for a female coach in the show's history. She continues to write and perform music, released the deeply personal album Pink Cloud in 2019, and married her childhood friend, choreographer Justin De Vera, in 2023. She has 3 children. She is 45 years old as of July 2026. Steve Carell plays Ticio, a snooty waiter at an upscale restaurant. He has no lines. He is on screen for a matter of seconds, and he is, by some distance, the most famous person in this movie today. Curly Sue was his film debut. Carell was a 29-year-old Second City Chicago performer when Hughes cast local improvisers in small parts, and he has joked about the role for decades, once reenacting his entire performance for Paul Rudd in a press interview, which consisted of poking his head up and looking around. Steve Carell was born Stephen John Carell on August 16, 1962, in Concord, Massachusetts. The family name had been changed from Caroselli, and his character's Italian flavor wasn't much of a stretch. At Second City, he met his understudy and future wife, Nancy Walls. They married in 1995 and have 2 children. From that silent waiter, Carell built one of modern comedy's defining careers: The Daily Show, Anchorman, The 40-Year-Old Virgin, and 7 seasons as Michael Scott on The Office, the role that made him an institution. Then he proved the range no one saw coming, earning an Academy Award nomination for Best Actor as the chilling John DuPont in Foxcatcher, and acclaimed dramatic turns in The Big Short, Beautiful Boy, and The Morning Show. In 2025, he starred in HBO's tech billionaire satire Mountainhead and Netflix's hit comedy The 4 Seasons opposite Tina Fey. Not bad for a man whose first film role was 1 word long, and the word was his own character's name, said by somebody else. He is 63 years old as of July 2026. Fred Dalton Thompson plays Bernard Oxbar, Gray's imposing boss at the law firm, radiating the effortless, gravelly authority that defined nearly every role he ever played. What most viewers watching in 1991 didn't know was that acting was Thompson's second career. What nobody knew was that his third would be even bigger. Fred Dalton Thompson was born on August 19, 1942, in Sheffield, Alabama, and raised in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. He was a lawyer, not an actor. Minority counsel on the Senate Watergate Committee, where he asked the question that publicly revealed the existence of Nixon's White House taping system. Later, as an attorney in Tennessee, he exposed a cash for clemency scandal that helped bring down a sitting governor. When Hollywood made a film about the case, called Marie, the producers asked Thompson to play himself. He was so natural on camera that a full acting career followed. The Hunt for Red, October, Die Hard 2, Cape Fear, and Curly Sue all came within a 2-year span. After Curly Sue, Fred Thompson pulled off one of the strangest career pivots in Hollywood history. In 1994, he was elected to the United States Senate from Tennessee, filling the seat vacated by Vice President Al Gore, and served until 2003. Then he simply went back to acting, joining Law & Order as District Attorney Arthur Branch from 2002 to 2007, at one point serving in the Senate and starring on the show in the same year. In 2007, he ran for the Republican nomination for President of the United States. He continued acting until the end of his life. Fred Thompson died on November 1st, 2015, in Nashville, Tennessee, following a recurrence of lymphoma. He was 73 years old. Curly Sue was dismissed by critics, and it closed the book on John Hughes' directing career. He never stepped behind the camera again. But look at who walked out of it: a 9-year-old who lost everything, got sober, and won The Voice; a silent waiter who became Michael Scott; a lawyer's boss who became an actual senator. Hughes made a movie about people pretending to be something they weren't. His cast spent the next 3 decades proving they were far more than anyone guessed. Don't forget to hit hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest Where Are They Now? Videos exploring your favorite casts from the past.